gaano po ba kaseryoso itong kine-claim ng China na meron silang recording nitong conversation na ito?
Well, hindi ko titignan whether totoo yan o hindi. Titignan ko yan sa aspeto, ano ba dapat ang rules governing mga diplomats? No, nakasaad, of course, yung nilabas na statement ni Secretary Anyo, mini-mention niya doon yung 1961 Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations na dinidefine ho dyan ano dapat ang gagawin ng isang diplomat, no? Unang-una dyan, ang rule niya is to negotiate, of course, in assumption na negotiation usually, it pertains doon sa counterpart mo. No, I'm the Chinese diplomat, ang counterpart ko yung Department of Foreign Affairs. No, yung counterpart, for example, yung protocol na tinatawag, yung counterpart ng Chinese ambassador is, of course, the Assistant Secretary for Asia and Pacific Affairs. And I know her personally, si Assistant Secretary Eileen Mendiola Rao. So ganun dapat, no? Then of course yung other Chinese diplomats below the ambassador, titignan nila yung counterparts nila sa Department of Foreign Affairs. Ang nakapagtaka dito, why do you have a Chinese diplomat negotiating directly with an officer of the Armed Forces of the Philippines? So ayun yung question doon, no? Sabi nga nung sa statement, in a way, no, ang term there is a breach of protocol. Why would you talk with a ranking officer of the Armed Forces of the Philippines? Dapat dyan, ang counterpart mo, dapat Department of Foreign Affairs. Is the Department of Foreign Affairs aware of this, breach of what we call the normal diplomatic channel? So, doon ko na tinitignan.
Okay.
Ganun pa katindi yung, kumbaga, clout ng Chinese embassy sa loob ng ating gobyerno. So, in a way, no, kung titignan ko yan, the Chinese embassy is acting not like a normal diplomatic post, is acting like a proconsul.
Kung malinaw na breach of protocol yan, okay, ano yung dapat gawin doon sa Chinese embassy official who did this?
Well, pwedeng unang warning ang the Department of Foreign Affairs. Why are you communicating directly do sa aming government? Dapat yan, dadaan sa amin yan. We have to be aware. This is an agreement between the Philippines and, of course, China. How come you are directly negotiating with an official of the Philippine government that's not part of the diplomatic service, no? You have to explain. It's a breach of protocol. Eka nga, sinasabi, going beyond tinatawag natin normal diplomatic channel. Ang question din, of course, why can the Chinese embassy do that? No?
Yes, precisely.
It's kind of unprecedented, no? Again, ititrace ko to doon, bakit nabigyan ng ganyang malaking kapangyarihan ang Chinese embassy to a way it does not anymore function like a normal diplomatic post but as a proconsul. Nasasabihan tayo, no? Kasi hindi talaga tasang any diplomats nasabihan ka or what. Ang ano dyan always is a basis of negotiation using the normal diplomatic channel.
Okay. I'll try to simplify this, no, para dun po sa mga viewers natin, no. Parang lumalabas dito, yung Chinese embassy official directly kinausap yung dating head ng Westcom, si Vice Admiral Carlos. Tapos kumuha ng concession at di umano pumayag si Carlos na sige, magpapaalam kami para smooth yung yung resupply mission diyan sa Ayungin Shoal. Tapos hindi kami magdadala ng construction material. Tapos on the basis of this, itong low-level discussion na ito, na hindi naman binding, biglang pinoblicize ng China at binabind yung buong Philippine government. Is that what happened?
Yan, ganon. At ang ano pa doon, yung wiretapping na supposed to be recorded yung phone conversation without informing. Kung totoo man, no, yung officer na sinasabi, si Vice Admiral. So in a way, sabi nga ni Secretary Gibo Teodoro, pag tinap yung conversation mo over a telephone without informing you, it's yung anti-wiretapping law. It's a violation. That diplomat is violating Philippine law. And of course, ang issue dyan, meron siyang diplomatic immunity. Hindi mo basta-basta ma-accuse yan. Pero nevertheless, it's a breach na tinatawag nating good faith. Na dapat, although ang isang diplomat is entitled to diplomatic immunity, you should not, of course, abuse that diplomatic immunity by violating the law of the country. na naka-provide. At isang element pa dito, again, hindi talaga diretso about law, no? Kasi hindi naman ako abogado. Binabase ko lang to sa sinabi nga ni Secretary Gibo Teodoro, who is of course a lawyer. So ang tingin niya talaga legalistic. Yung isa pang element doon na ginagamit para i-blackmail ka. Na ilalabas ko to o hindi, no? Bakit mo ko ba-blackmailin ng isang information na nakuha mo through illegitimate means, wiretapping? So that adds up to the complication of that violation law, and of course the fact that you are acting on a basis of bad faith. Na tinethreaten mo, expose ko kayo. Right?
In that case, is expulsion the right thing to do as far as the Philippine government is concerned?
Ang dapat dyan gawin, of course, yun nga ang term doon, is you have to declare the person persona non grata. Na nangyari na sa atin yan. Ewan ko natatandaan mo, sa Kuwait, no, yung Filipino ambassador na involved doon sa pag-rescue ng isang OFW na hindi naman talaga trabaho ng diplomat.
Oo, yung nag-conduct ng operation sa Kuwait na hindi dapat.
Magalit ngayon yung Kuwaiti government. It's a it's not the task ng isang diplomat according to the Vienna Convention. So, of course, he was declared persona non grata. He was given, I think, 48 hours to leave the country.
Okay. Pero let's try to discuss the nuances of this, no? Kasi unang-una, China ang nagkiklaim. We're not even sure whether that's true, whether there's an actual audio recording, or if there is, whether that's true or dito legitimate. Kasi paano kung deepfake siya, inimbento yung audio?
Pwede pa rin. Kasi wiretapping pa rin yun eh. Kung miski deepfake man o totoo man yan, yan, bakit mo tinape yung conversation or why you're claiming na tinape mo? Yung pa lang, whether it's true or not, is already a violation of the law.
Okay. On the part of, assuming naman, kasi lahat to hindi pa natin sure kung talaga nangyari kasi mahirap paniwalaan po yan China. Assuming for the sake of argument na si Vice Admiral Carlos actually spoke with that Chinese embassy official, whoever that person is, meron ba namang maliring ginawa yung si Vice Admiral for doing that?
Ang tatanungin ko, sino nag-seek nung, who initiated that conversation? Kung yung Chinese yun, well, of course, masasabi natin, Vice Admiral Carlos is a victim, no? Kung sino man yun nag-initiate, I think ang nag-initiate talaga, hindi ko alam, we don't know who initiated the call. Pero kung titignan mo kasi, this is a modus operation talaga ng mga Chinese eh. Yung case, katatandaan mo noon sa back-channeling, noong time ni Senator Trillanes, no? And even do sa Scarborough Shoal. No, back-channeling that was, pero do sa back-channeling sa Scarborough Shoal, it was of course a ranking official of the State Department. Pero the Chinese really like to get involved in this kind of what we call under-the-table backdoor negotiation. Pero nakakatawa ngayon, no, ginagamit sa atin ngayon yung pag-seek niya ng kumbaga, meron, in a way, element dyan ng gentleman's agreement, tinatawag natin, no? Honor among thieves. No? Kung ginawa mo to, ginawa natin, let's keep it quiet. Kasi talaga, on the one hand, mapuputukan tayo. Pero even sa larangan na to, it seems that this Chinese diplomats simply do not respect even yung tinatawag natin honor among thieves.
How about the Chinese ambassador? Mukhang, di ba namumuro yung Chinese ambassador dito?
Well, sabi nga naman ni President Marcos, remember was it late last year, no? I think it was Senator Subiri who asked na kung pwedeng i-declare persona non grata yung ambassador. Sabi naman ni President Marcos, tanggalin mo man yan, ang papalit din gagawin yung the same. Pero of course, talagang warning. Of course, na-discuss ko rin sa isang program, no? Kung i-declare mo ng persona non grata, lalo na yung ambassador, gaganti yung mga Chinese.
Understandable yun. Yan, tit for tat, no? Pero wouldn't that send a very strong message na huwag nyo kami ginagago kasi masyado nyo kami ginagago eh. Napaka-brazen ng ginagawa nyo eh, di ba?
Well, given of course of course the decision talaga whether to declare that Chinese ambassador persona non grata will be coming from the president. Naglabas na ng warning ang DFA eh. Naglabas na rin ng advice ang National Security Advisor. Nagbigay na rin ng position si Secretary Gibo Teodoro I think DFA is still weighing things kasi nga, sabi ko nga, pag nagkaroon ng tit for tat, ang ma-declare na persona non grata is from the Department of Foreign Affairs. Yung mga diplomats na naka-assign doon sa ating embassy sa Beijing.
Kung nagustuhan niyo po itong video na ito, paki-like at share na lang po para mas marami pang makakita at makapanood. Kung gusto niyo po makibalita, follow niyo na rin po ako sa aking mga social media accounts na nakasulat po sa screen. Pwede rin po kayo magpadala ng super thanks, super like, super chat at super sticker sa YouTube, saka Facebook stars po. Alam niyo po, malayo po mararating ito para makagawa pa po kami ng mas maraming video na makatutulong po sa pagpapakalat ng tamang impormasyon para sa bawat Pilipino. Kada like, subscribe, follow at share ay pagsuporta po sa tunay na independent journalism sa bansa. Maraming salamat po.